Luthen Rael isn't making it out of Andor Season 2 alive, you can feel it. His arc has been building towards something final, something sacrificial. He's the man who recruited Cassian, helped Mon Mothma escape the Empire.
I have friends everywhere, those words.
And pulled the rebellion's early pieces together. But he's always known he wouldn't survive to see the sunrise he helped create. In this video, we're exploring why his death feels inevitable and why it might be the moment that shifts the Star Wars timeline forever. Because without Luthen, there is no Cassian, there's no rebellion, no one to steal the Death Star plans, and maybe the galaxy wouldn't have made it to the New Republic.
I make my own decisions. Is that what you've been doing? Sometimes I wonder.
But while he's built something greater than himself, it's the way he goes out that could define everything. And trust me, there are clues you might have missed, and one huge twist come in that flips the balance of power, right as the series hits its final act.
Eventually they'll hang us both, won't they? We set that course the first time we met.
Before we jump in, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on today's video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to catch more Andor Season 2 and wider Star Wars content, you're in the right place. Now, with all out of the way, let's dive in, piece it all together and uncover the real cost of being the Rebellion's invisible hand.
You appeared when I needed you. Aldani, Narkina, Ferrix, Sinar, Minarao, Gorman. And here we are.
Alright, so Luthen Rael has always been the Rebellion's ghost in the machine. While others made speeches or took the spotlight, he moved quietly in the shadows, pulling strings, making deals and lighting sparks in the darkest corners of the galaxy. He's the one who found Cassian, he's the one who got Mon Mothma off Coruscant when the Empire closed in. And he's the one who's been stitching together rebel cells long before anyone called it an alliance. But what makes Luthen so compelling is that for all the power he holds, we know next to nothing about him. No backstory, no clear motivation, just this sharp, relentless drive to build something he'll never get to see. He's sacrificed everything. His identity, his peace, his future.
Kindness, kinship, love.
All for a cause that can never acknowledge him. It's not just that he's willing to die for the rebellion, it's that in many ways he's already given up living. And now that raises the question, what's driven him to this point? Is it guilt over something we haven't seen yet, a personal loss? Was he once a true believer who saw too much? We don't know, but we might be able to find out. The finale could finally crack open that mask and show us the man beneath it, even if it's right before he falls. And yeah, if that moment comes, if the show finally reveals who Luthen was before he became this cold, calculating architect, will it make his sacrifice hurt even more? We're watching a man walk toward his end, fully aware of what's waiting, and that's what makes his story so powerful. He's not just a rebel. For me, he's this early rebellion's greatest unseen weapon. Now, from the moment Luthen met Cassian, he believed they were both destined to hang. That wasn't a threat, it was a statement of fate. And in one of his more reflective moments, Luthen even questions whether Cassian truly makes his own decisions, or if something bigger has been guiding them all along. That line,
I make my own decisions. Is that what you've been doing? Sometimes I wonder.
Almost feels like a crack in the armor, like he's even starting to question whether any of this was ever in his control. And we all know Andor doesn't throw the word force around lightly, but you can feel its presence. It's not about lightsabers or Jedi heroics, it's in the timing, the sacrifices, the way everything just clicks into place when it needs to. Remember that healer back in episode 7 who called Cassian a messenger?
But some, very few, your pilot, they're gathering as they go.
That wasn't just poetic. Cassian's been carrying the voices of Marva, Nemik, Kino Loy, and even Luthen, spreading their beliefs, their sacrifices across the galaxy. He even plays a key role in helping the rebellion figure out how to destroy the Death Star. That's not coincidence, that's purpose, and that's where the Force feels like it's quietly guiding the story. We know the Jedi are connected to it, but Andor plays with a deeper idea, that the Force isn't just for the Force sensitive, it's always there, moving through everyone. Most people just aren't tuned into it, but the ones who are, the ones who listen, even without realizing it, they're the ones who end up shaping history. Could Luthen be one of them? Could he have felt it all along without ever calling it what it was? Maybe that's why he picked Cassian, maybe that's why he's willing to burn everything for a cause he'll never live to see, because if the Force has been guiding this rebellion from the shadows, then Luthen was exactly where it needed him to be. So yeah, we've seen Luthen sacrifice everything, driven by fate, perhaps even the Force, and a belief in something bigger. But what if all of that's about to come crashing down? You see, in one of the trailers, there's a quick but telling shot of Dedra Meero standing inside Luthen's gallery. It hasn't happened yet in the show, which means it's coming up in one of the final episodes, and let's be real, she's not in there shopping for souvenirs. With Cyril gone and the walls closing in, this moment almost certainly means Luthen's cover's blown. After years of hunting Axis, Dedra is about to get a shot. And what makes this even more brutal is just how long it's been building. This was her obsession. She was pulled off the case and reassigned to Gorman, but you could tell It never left her. Even during the Coruscant extraction in episode 9, when Kleya told Luthen to return to the gallery, it felt like everything was quietly being set in place. Even though these next episodes are set a year in the future, they've already established that Luthen isn't leaving for the safety of Yavin. He's staying right under the Empire's nose.
She goes to Yavin and not you?
No Yavin for me.
But what if this isn't just a confrontation, it's an execution? What if Dedra finally gets the win she's been chasing for years, and Luthen doesn't walk away? You see, Dedra and Luthen's stories have been running parallel for 2 seasons, and now they're about to collide. And I think this one's gonna hurt. Luthen's been a standout character from the beginning, someone who's not just willing to give everything for the cause, but also willing to shape it inside out. He's predicted his own death more than once. We know he's ready to fall for what he believes in, but actually seeing it happen, that's going to hit different. Alright, so let's dig into how that final confrontation might go down, and who, if anyone, makes it out alive. Now, after so many years of hunting Axis, I think it's pretty clear Dedra's finally about to get her big chance, and this time, it's not going to be from afar. Just like Cyril devoted everything to tracking down Cassian, Dedra has thrown her career, her reputation, everything into this one obsession. The difference is, she might actually win. Cyril got his confrontation, and it ended with him dead and Cassian walking away. But what if this time the roles flip? What if this time it's the Empire that ends up coming out on top? I think Dedra's going to kill Luthen. Maybe not cleanly, maybe with one of the artifacts in the gallery, maybe in some bitter improvised moment, but it feels like the end is coming, and she's the one who lights the match.
Proceed.
And then there's Kleya. She could be a part of this too. There's a shot in one of the trailers that's haunted me ever since I saw it. Kleya struggling to hold back the tears, pressing a button. And now we know that moment wasn't about Gorman, the pieces are starting to fall into place. What if that button isn't just symbolic? What if it's literal, a failsafe, designed by Luthen himself in case everything falls apart? A way to destroy the gallery, wipe the records, and take out anyone who gets too close to the truth, including Dedra, maybe even Luthen himself. Could Kleya be the one left to pull the trigger on the man who built the rebellion from the shadows? That would be brutal in itself. They've clearly built a strong relationship.
You should have killed Krennic while we were up there.
That's the spirit.
Built on trust and necessity, and her being the one to press the button would hit her in ways I don't think many fans would expect. Now, we don't know for sure, but doesn't that exactly feel like the kind of thing Luthen would have set in motion? He's always said he'll never see the sunrise, so maybe this is it, the final move, the sacrifice not just of himself, but of everything he's built on Coruscant, blow it all away to protect Yavin.
It all comes down.
And then there's Dedra. If Luthen falls, what happens to her? If she survives their encounter, then she's a hero in the Empire's eyes. She did her job on Gorman, she's uncovered Axis, and then in the height of her career, she disappears. I'm thinking maybe Kleya takes revenge into her own hands. There are so many ways this could go, but one thing feels certain, the gallery is where it ends. The story that began in that space ends in that space, and I really believe we're getting to the sunrise Luthen was talking about, the moment he dies, so Yavin can survive to secure a victory he'll never get to see.
So what do I sacrifice? Everything!
And here's the thing, while Luthen's death may be what hits us hardest, there's one more question the show still hasn't answered. Who was he before all of this? Like, was he always just an antique dealer, or was that just the mask he's worn for the cause?
This is Luthen Rael.
We've spent 2 seasons watching him outsmart the Empire, move rebel leaders like chess pieces, and sacrifice every part of himself for the bigger picture, but we still don't know what lit the spark in the first place. Was it guilt? Was it revenge? Or was it something else entirely? Was it the Force nudging him down this path like it did with Cassian?
I make my own decisions.
Is that what you've been doing? Sometimes I wonder.
We might never get a full backstory, and honestly, we don't need one, but it would enhance the finale with at least a glimpse behind the curtain. His homeworld, a memory, a small glimpse of who this man was before he became the rebellion's ghost. But the truth is, who he was isn't nearly as important as who he is right now, because if Luthen goes out in his final episodes, we're not just losing a player in the game, we're losing the architect of the rebellion.
Eventually they'll hang us both, won't they? We set that course the first time we met.
Without Luthen, there's no Cassian, no Mon Mothma on Yavin. There's no Death Star plans, no victory at Andor, and maybe not even a new Republic. And that's what makes his story so tragic. Kino Loy sparked a prison revolt, but never made it out. Nemik died before his manifesto reached anyone. Marva's funeral lit the fire on Ferrix, but she wasn't there to see it burn. Luthen, he gave everything, he stayed hidden. The rebellion will never speak his name, but they'll owe him forever. So really, could that be the greatest tragedy of them all? The man who gave hope to so many will be remembered by so few. Or maybe that was the plan all along.
And here we are.
So yeah, Luthen Rael has always been the rebellion's shadow, the ghost who lit the match and then stepped into the background, making sure the fire kept burning long after he was gone. His story might be coming to a close, but the galaxy he helped shape is only just beginning. From Cassian to Mon Mothma to Yavin and beyond, his fingerprints are all over this movement, even if his name is never spoken. And whether he dies in that gallery or somewhere else entirely, one thing's for sure, his legacy is going to echo far beyond Andor, through Rogue One, through the Return of the Jedi, even into the New Republic era. The ripples of his sacrifices are going to be felt for a long time. I honestly can't wait to see how his final chapter plays out, even though, yeah, it's kind of wild how quickly this season's flown by. Luthen's been one of the most fascinating Star Wars characters we've ever had, and whatever's coming for him is going to hit hard. But here's what I want to know. Do you think Luthen actually makes it out of this alive, or is this truly the end of a man who built the rebellion from the shadows? As always, drop your thoughts, theories, and wilder speculations down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our full breakdown of episodes 7 to 9. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming ones. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one, and may the Force be with you.